Yes, and welcome to the Devil's Chat. Erin has some technical difficulties like she usually does. She's working on it. She's getting there. She's almost there. She went to go make a drink, and I think a high-octane version, and came back and nothing was working. So I already had started going live. I'll wait for her, of course, because, that's the right thing to do. But anyways, how you all doing out there? I saw a lot of you over on Erin's
Yes,
channel.
and welcome to the Devil's Chat.
Back there. Erin has some technical difficulties like she usually does. She's working on it. She's getting there. She's almost there. She went to go make a drink, and I think a high-octane version, and came back and nothing was working. So I already had started going live. I'll wait for her, of course, because, that's the right thing to do. But anyways, how you all doing out there? I saw a lot of you over on Erin's
Yes,
channel.
and welcome to the Devil's Chat.
Back there.
Erin has some technical
your end or
difficulties
my
like she
end?
usually does.
She's working on it. She's getting there. She's almost there. She
One
went to go
second.
make a... Okay, there we go.
Okay, now it should work. Okay.
Now it should work.
Sorry.
But I am getting some
Okay.
weird noises. But anyways, yeah, I saw a lot of the people over on your channel. You guys were talking about some community type stuff that I have very little interest in. However, if we have enough time, if people want to finish that up, because I know you were kind of running late on that, I'm fine. If they give a crap about my point of view, which they probably don't, whatever, no big deal. That's not what I want to do here.
Right.
Because go ahead.
Was I right? Did Holy Spackle come over?
Oh, I don't know. She's blocked. Who? Yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Who? Who? I don't deal with it. So anyways, as you guys know, there was a cross-examination. And by the way, do you like my play on words? I had to explain it to Erin. I'm like, look, Amber Heard under cross. Get it? Under cross? Cross-examination? And by the way, you like my red eyes? This is not a filter, by the way. My red eyes? My red eyes? Does that look red?
Yeah, I can.
That's not a filter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What is it?
It's just the way
Just your eyes?
No, it's just the way I did the green screen. Yeah, the setting is. But I thought it came up pretty cool. So anyways, yeah, so Amber Heard was under cross-examination. Give the Johnny Depp's team a chance to basically refute all this. Right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. Her name's Camille. Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so, yeah.
Vasquez or she just started like going for jugular, right? So I was like gonna talk to you and see what your thoughts on it, because I know Kano and I were like for like 5 hours watching this, going, holy crap! Every time something happened, we're like, oh my god, did you hear that? And I'm just tweeting it out and shit. But I kind of want to get your impression on it. Like, do you think it like went as well as I thought it did? Because I thought she got obliterated on this. My reasons for it, but what do you think happened?
Yeah, she did. Don't get me wrong, but she held up better than I expected her to. I expected it to be just a much larger of a dumpster fire for Amber. But I don't know if it's because maybe her lawyers really did prep her pretty well on some issues or what. But she didn't fail quite as spectacularly as I was expecting, but failed nonetheless.
All right, well, that's the first question out of the gate, because I did some polls on Twitter, and one of the first polls I had asked was, did it appear that she had talked to her lawyers, contrary to explicit instructions by the judge not to talk to anybody? That includes her defense team. I mean, there's obviously reasons for this, but they wanted her testimony to be cross-examined without having, anything added or changed to it from what you said before. Do I think that they abided by that? No. Do I think they will admit to that? No. But there's no way you can convince me that she didn't change from last week to this week. Demeanor and approach and coaching and guidance and an overall, just it was different. It felt different, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that they had talked to each other. So right out of the gate, though, Camille was basically running the argument, which is, I think, goes to the heart of Amber's entire freaking case, that if she was some abused woman for 5 years and that she, quote, narrowly escaped, these are her words, narrowly escaped, and all she has to show for it are questionable images that might have a bruise, maybe have 2 scratches, and some broken mirrors in 5 years. I've had pets that have done more damage to me than that.
And like no witnesses, like no declarations of people who witnessed all this shit. You know what I mean?
Not one.
Where his side has like dozens of them practically.
There's been not one person that has said that they have seen her strike her, hit her, even be verbally abusive. Now, him yelling is him yelling, and I get that. Look, people can yell, but there's a line between yelling and the abuse that they're talking about as far as a legal statute of abuse. And so they're trying to portray him out to be this massive abuser, not just somebody who says some mean things very often. Who cares? But he actually has some evidence. He has a 7-figure. That's pretty impressive as far as like, hey, this woman abused me. She threw a bottle at me and it cut my finger off. Yeah, I'm going to call that domestic violence.
I was so waiting for like when she was on the stand discussing that. I was so waiting for her to steal yet another movie line and say it's only a flesh wound.
Well, let me ask you. I'll fix my volume here. Do you guys think that? Yeah, I tried. Let's see that if that's better for the audio. Do you guys think that? I was going to say. What was your question? What did you say? Because that was my train of thought. I was trying to fix my audio.
Well, no, because you know how like a lot of people were saying that her testimony contained movie lines.
Oh, well, yeah.
When she was talking about the Australia incident and Johnny losing his finger, I was waiting for her to steal the movie line. Well, it's just a flesh wound.
Do you think though that she did from that talented Mr. Ripley? I didn't hear her say any of those things, and I don't think that she did. Now maybe there had been something similar and some lines, but it was not direct dialogue.
See, some of the things I think she did, and I even think that they might have been deliberate. Like when that one line from the Winona Ryder movie, I'd sooner cut off my hand than reach for you again or whatever. Like I almost feel like that might have been deliberate because didn't Johnny used to date her? Like I could see her doing that just to fuck with him. But like I wonder though, I mean, they're actors. So they actually have to memorize a lot of these movie lines. So maybe I don't know, maybe it's not that big of a deal if that's how they communicate with one another, just in general. But some of them, though, some of them just, you should know better. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there was, obviously some acting going on. And I did point out that, if I was their lawyers, I think Johnny's lawyers should be telling them, don't act. Don't come across as you're acting. You need to come across as genuine. And then Amber's lawyers are going, you need to put on a show. Because her acting skills are subpar to say the least. And she doesn't come across as genuine. She doesn't come across as believable. Even if a fraction of what she said is true, it still is nowhere near what I think that, what Johnny went through. And again, I'm not on team Johnny because he's a guy or anything like that. I have been looking at the evidence. And, even Camille pointed out, she didn't have any evidence. She even said, I love when she said, probably because there's nothing for you to show. Right? And there's no records for you to show because she's just like, oh, I have pictures of me. I have all this evidence. Well, where is it? Well, I gave it to my lawyers. Yeah. And her lawyer's like,
don't put this shit on me, man.
Oh, wait, sidebar. And I don't think that she does, and I think that's going to be brought up. I think on the closing, they're says she has all this evidence, mountains of evidence. She said, her words. Yet, there is it. And she's trying to run this argument like, oh, well, they wouldn't let me support. They wouldn't let the jury see it. And her own lawyer's going, wait a minute, no, that's not the case. I mean, you don't find that weird that she's trying to run that? I mean, why would she lie about that, though?
I find the whole thing kind of bizarre. Not only just the lies that she tells, but how she honestly thinks that these are good ideas and that she will succeed in getting away with them, these lies. And that no one's going to see through her bullshit. The whole thing just blows my mind. Like,
she sounds
for
like
real.
a complete narcissist?
Yes, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, we know a few people like that. So yeah, they don't think they're going to get caught with their lying, like bullshit lying. Like, oh, look, the sky is purple polka dot. Can't you see it?
I'm just gonna say this once, and then I'm not even gonna participate in a discussion about it. But every fucking time I hear people talk, people in videos on YouTube, obviously those who support Johnny Depp. But whenever I hear people talk about how and what kind of RO Amber Heard got and how she got it, that's all I'm going to say.
It's kind of interesting when they're talking about that TRO that, she got it by lying. And she got it by basically, being sued for lying on a TRO, and she's not being directly sued for lying on the TRO. That is true. But it's a pattern. It is showing the fact that she has been manipulating the system for quite some time to make her out to be a victim. What she's being sued for is basically pretty much the op-ed piece. Washington Post, right?
Yeah.
Now, it may be true that she didn't have anything to do with the headline, but there's something still called the Replication Rule, and there's something that in the legal standing. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but from what I've read, if you print something, you could have liability. And she tweeted it out.
Right.
And
yeah. The title. She just she says that she just copied and pasted it or whatever, but I don't know.
Okay, look, if you have something written about you, you're going to notice what the headline is. I have things written about me, right? I know what the headline is. And I'm like, okay.
I gave an interview to CNN, and I bet I can still right now recite the title of that piece. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed when they did an article on me on Soap Opera Spy, she accidentally spelled my name wrong twice. I proofread it. But she fixed it.
How do you spell Steve wrong?
The link
How do you
is still
spell Steve wrong?
STHE. Well, I think it's CULTLEADER. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
But I got the rope for it today. But
what's up, y'all? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi.
Yes, hi.
Hey. Hi, Tina.
I would put you on cam, but
I'm
you don't
watching
have a
on
cam.
3 different things. It's very confusing.
Oh. Well, what'd you think of the opener today on the cross?
Dude, here's the one thing that really, really stuck to me, right? She kept saying she submitted it. She submitted those pictures, right? Like she put them in. Well, where the fuck are they? Where are they? If they had those pictures, I bet my life they would have put them in. Correct?
Of course.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Is there why is she making it seem like some shady shit has gone on? Like her lawyers don't want them to see all these crazy pictures if it really happened.
Maybe she's trying to indirectly throw her lawyer under the bus. Because your narcissists always blame everybody else, right? Nothing's their fault. And so she's probably throwing all this out there, saying, oh, well, I gained my lawyer. And, of course, what are they going to do? Ask the lawyer? No, they're not going to. The lawyer's not being under oath right there, so they're not going to ask the lawyer for it. There's no way to really look into that per se. But again, the jury's not going to buy that. Well, all that Mel has to do is say, look, Amber said she has a bunch of evidence, didn't show any. That's it.
Where is it? They've been asking for it for weeks. For weeks, they've been asking for this evidence, right? Why aren't they cooperating? Maybe because it's not what they are maybe it's not. It's because it's not what Amber is making it seem like it is, right?
I was just going to say that. Yeah, maybe she's made these claims of this is what I have. It definitely shows this, blah, blah. And then as the deadline or whatever came closer, they finally got to see this evidence and they're like, what?
Yeah, I mean, we also know some
right.
people have submitted evidence on TROs that's very similar. You look at the evidence, you go, what? What? How is this evidence of what you think it is?
Right. It's nothing.
It's a nothing. It's a big ball of nothing. Well, I think that's what it is. I think she gave her lawyers a big ball of nothing, and they have to make do with it. And I mean, when you have a losing case, I mean, it feel bad for them, right? Because here you have a person who clearly is narcissistic, and she's willing to say, "Oh, I had a bloody nose and broken nose and black eyes and my lip was split, and the very next day she looks perfect." Now, I'm not saying makeup can't do amazing things, but there's certain things with swelling and things that's going to be notable.
Yeah.
And not one makeup artist said, "Oh yeah, the day after we noticed all these things. We had to spend 5 hours on her for makeup." Nobody did this. Like there was one person that started talking about it, but nothing when Corbin showed.
Well. And if you look at his rings, okay, so I've seen people be beat up. I've, had my ass whooped one time. And it was bad. Like, it was bad. There was no covering it up with I couldn't leave my house. It was really bad. So with his rings, and I mean, his lawyers did a really good job at really focusing on how big and how bulky those rings are. And if he hit her repeatedly over and over again, like she claimed, she would have had indentations. Mm-hmm. Those rings would have made stamps in her face, right? You would have been able to compare the ring to the stamp in her face and know exactly what hit her.
Yeah, and I like the fact
There's
he made it
no
very clear that he
fake.
always wears them too.
Right. Right. They were very good. If this jury does not find her guilty and him, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah, well, it's a civil matter, but I know what you mean. They're gonna probably end up finding that she has no case and she loses on that.
The evidence is damning against her. She's a bad actress. She can't even cry. Not one flippin' tear. Not one.
She wins the Katie Joy Oscar.
Exactly.
I even tweeted out. I was like, Katie Joy is even impressed how well this lady could lie under oath. You know, it's just like, really, this is some serious skill level. But she can't act though.
Right. She can't act. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I went to the vet today and I'm sitting in my truck. I'm like, can you just take my animals in? You know, because it's COVID stuff. And so I'm sitting in my truck screaming.
Oh, you were listening at when you're in your truck?
Yeah, screaming, sitting in my truck,
were you watching
screaming.
It?
I can't even imagine.
Were you just listening, or did you hear were you watching the visuals? Because the visuals are great.
No, I was watching everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Yeah, and like you said, not only will it lead adults. I mean, you probably cause broken bones of things of that nature. You know, but again, she had the wherewithal to take pictures of Johnny when he's nodding or sleeping. Had the wherewithal to take pictures of some broken glass or whatever, and a few other things, some beads, whatever. But not have the wherewithal to take pictures over 5 years of her actually getting the shit kicked out of her. Nope, nothing there.
Right, and her bloody feet, and then her arms, those scars on her arms. I found pictures. I went and looked. Popcorn Planet. He talked about it, and I went and looked and found the pictures, and there's no freaking scars on her arms. You know what I mean? Like it was makeup. I mean, she knows how to do makeup.
Yeah, it's hard to tell whether
she
was trying to cover up bruises or create them, and I had asked that as well. And out of like 120 people, like 80-90% said that they're trying to cover up. And again, you can't prove that in court, but it does.
Oh, I'm thinking it's create.
Yeah, and I lend some merit to that as well. But all they have to do is the jury, I think, is say, look, she's making these accusations. She's suing for $100 million. It's just worth $100 million. It's just, especially because, she also is suing them because he's obviously suing her because of the headlines and his reputation and all these things he's out. Where's she coming up with this $100 million from? What has she been out?
Yeah, I know.
What has he done to her that's worth $100 million? I can't figure that out yet.
Well, now I guess it looks like she's not going to be in Aquaman 2, so I guess technically she could argue that she lost a movie deal. However, I would say that
after she said
it was after the fact, right? And I would also argue that has more to do with her than it does to do with Johnny.
And from what I understand, she probably already. I mean, she got paid for that. They can't take it back. Whether they cut her down to 10 minutes or they cut her out completely, which I don't know.
Oh, yeah, true. Okay.
Because it's already been filmed. It's already, it's in editing. It's done pretty much. They cut her down to 10 minutes, from what I understand, which I guess is integral to the plot line, and it would have to do a whole rewrite, I guess. But you have everybody going, no, look, if she's in it, we're not going to see it. She did that to herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just blown away that a woman that supposedly has been in 5 years of just narrowly escaping, her words, right? She narrowly survived what she said. People have seen people in domestic violence situations, and those people, when they narrowly survive, they literally mean narrowly survives. Well, many of them don't make it out. And I had somebody that was talking to me that she was in that situation, and she was slighted by it.
Yeah, I don't blame her. Like, that kind of pisses me off hearing that, because it's like, you are so fucking entitled that you don't even have the first clue of what it's like to actually be stuck in some kind of relationship where you feel like you're trapped and you need to get out for your life. Like, you have no clue. You'll never know, probably. Well, maybe she'll know. I don't know. I don't want to say she'll never know, but she has no clue. No clue. Like,
Kawasa had said for 10,000 won, but then how did Heard win in the UK? Anybody know the details of that one? From what I understand in the UK, and I don't know much of the details, but what I do understand, or from what I've heard, there was a lot of not being able to put in evidence, and it was just the judge wasn't being very fair, from what I understand. I guess the best way to put it.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if he wins here, if he wins this case, will he be able to go back to the UK again?
Well, I don't know if why he would. What would be the point?
Well, he could. I think maybe he could, but the UK, like their appellate court or whatever, if you want to call it, I don't know what they call it, but I think they would be very likely to just shoot down his I don't know, second attempt.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The point would be if he wins this and he wins all out, he gets 50
million
or 50 million plus. It's a huge win for him. He's vindicated, and even if he does, I think he's vindicated as it is.
I think he's vindicated already.
Yeah, I do too. I very much think so.
But yeah, like I feel like he is vindicated, but I feel like he deserves more vindication. So let him keep going.
Oh, absolutely. And here's the thing: this cross is going to be his vindication.
Yeah,
and they're
like his lawyer is
just
destroying her. Exactly. She's destroying her, and she's the perfect one for this. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I love the way she's doing it very methodically. Right? She's doing it. She's not like. Like boom, boom, boom. She's just going, okay, this, please answer the question. This, she's not giving Amber that much time to have any kind of expository or wiggle room. She's just very direct, as it should be, letting her hang herself. And I have a feeling tomorrow's going to be, she's already had some jugular shots, but I think it's going to be really game over tomorrow. But she even said, at some point, Amber said, I could never hurt Johnny. And the first thing that came to my mind is, didn't you the other day say that, I wasn't punching him, I was hitting him?
Right.
What?
Right.
And her lawyer didn't say anything. This is what I'm saying. Maybe they're waiting for something tomorrow because her lawyer did not pick up on that, or they're going to put it out tomorrow. But how do you say I can never hurt somebody, and yet I just hit them? Oh, by the way, you're a big baby because I hit you, and you're now bawling about it, kind of stuff.
Do you think? They could go at her for a couple days, could they not?
I think they have tomorrow and maybe part of Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I
am
off.
They have a limit on them.
I am off the 2 days, so that's kind of nice. No, I'm sorry. I'm not off tomorrow. I do close, but the court will be done by then, so I'm off.
Well, I want to know. Because they touched on it today, but Amber didn't really. I didn't hear. I might have missed it. I tried to watch the whole thing. But why did Amber meet up with him after the fact? Where did they meet, in San Francisco or somewhere?
Yeah, it was after after the restraining order. She said that I just wanted to touch you, or whatever.
Yeah, and he was having no part of that. Or you could tell that he did not want to have any contact with her, physical or otherwise. He was rejecting.
Well, I want her to explain why she would want to meet up with somebody that she just got a TRO against. Why?
Well,
if she was not sleeping as she says, and she was so rattled as she said, and she just wanted to feel safe, why would you go meet up with your
abuser?
Abuser.
Women do weird things, I guess, like that, and so I'm not going to say that's not possible. But what I thought was even women can do women do weird things.
Women?
Yes.
Women.
I know, crazy,
people,
right?
How about people? Do weird things.
Okay.
It's not just women.
People with people in domestic violence situations. But I think really that was the most interesting part of that, though, was when she was talking about sending the photo. Remember she sent that photo with him with ice cream on him, which, by the way, I don't know if that was staged or not. But the lawyer had asked, well, weren't you concerned if he finds out and he's going to be upset and blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, why would I be worried about that? I'm like, wait, you're so scared of Johnny about what you wear, who you talk to, and you're in a movie, by the way, with him, and you're saying that, he wouldn't let you do scenes and this things, and he was so upset when it was a body double. I'm like, but he was in the movie with you, and he didn't say anything. He didn't care.
Who in the chat thinks that Amber ran that relationship? She was the dominant one.
Oh, yeah.
She made the freaking rules and the decisions and the everything.
Oh, without question.
She was the sadist. She was definitely the sadist, I think.
Then Mikhail Wells says, did you catch that Amber sent with the stage picture of the Coke lines? She said, yay for mornings. Yay or yayo is slang for Coke, implying it was hers to enjoy that morning, not JD's. I hadn't thought about that. And by the way, it did look staged. It didn't look like his stuff. It just didn't look.
Well, her cup was there. Her favorite cup. Her favorite coffee cup was there, right?
Yeah, what was the exact wording she used? was exactly. I don't know. I'm not to look it up, but that could be possible. Yeah, that actually. But again, why would it matter? Let's assume that. Yeah. Okay. So what? JD. I mean, it should be. JD. I'm gonna call him JD. Johnny Depp. Was coked out of his mind. That doesn't mean he abused her. I mean, sure, it lends some credibility to her story that at some point in time, but at the same token, it seems myopic that that's what she's trying to focus on, right?
If he abused her the way that she claimed, okay, she had so much stuff on him, like those, the picture of her arm and the picture of him passed out and all that. I guarantee that she would have the pictures of everything, right? If he actually did those things, she has proven that she would actually have the evidence. She doesn't. Where is it?
She certainly is. Excuse me. This again was really, really, really strange when she says, "Oh, it exists. It's out there. I gave it to my lawyers." Like, that's throwing your lawyer under the bus.
Right.
That's putting your lawyer in the hot seat right there, because that lawyer doesn't have that stuff.
So listen to this comment in the chat. Steve McRae, while we can certainly make a judgment about Amber's truthfulness, don't you think it's a bit immoral to claim a strong confidence that she's lying without hard evidence?
We have contradictions in her story. We have direct contradictions. Like, I could never harm Johnny, but I hit him. We have direct contradictions in her story that she was abused to narrowly escape. And in 5 years, this is all she has to show for it. These are not something you would expect for somebody that has been in that situation at all. And by the way, I was going to say this.
No, she would have the. She would have the evidence. See, I've been thinking and going back, and this might be a moral thing to think about, but I've been thinking about finding pictures of people that are out there that have been abused to really show what
on Twitter.
It looks
people were
like.
Doing it.
Like I said, I haven't seen
Amber Heard
any,
is
but
lying. It's on there, Tina.
There's no way that she would be able to cover up damage from those rings, from him beating the shit out of her with makeup. Doesn't matter what kind of makeup. There's no way the first few days that she would be able to hide it.
Well, she had
period.
ice. She had ice for the swelling. I'm like, no.
That's not enough. It's not. It doesn't work like that.
And also, she had said things like, "Oh well, I can't be taught how to play guitar. I've never played guitar." She was playing guitar, even though it was a G chord, but I didn't see the capo. The capo was on the 3rd fret, so it was an A minor chord she was playing. But for somebody who doesn't know how to play guitar, that's a pretty goddamn good A minor, or it's basically a G fingering. But it's just like, yeah, that's one of the harder fingerings to do for a beginner. You play guitar?
I don't know how to play guitar.
I was going to ask you about fingering, but that would probably be taken a different way.
G fingering? What?
Kino's like, oh no.
I'm not a guitar player. I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Okay, you realize a guitar has 6 strings, right? Yes.
Okay.
So
unless it's a bass.
Or bass guitar has 4. Or no, you have 6 string bass. But
you have 6.
A G chord is very uncomfortable when you first start learning how to play that chord. I mean, after you learn that chord, it's natural. I mean, it's like second nature because it's one of the most fundamental chords. But when you first learn it, she had to be taught it.
You gotta stretch your.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Is that the one where you gotta stretch your finger? These ones? Okay.
I broke a string on my guitar. I'll show you, but I gotta get really strong anyway.
Guitar Hero always gave me a hard time with that one.
It's that 3rd button,
I hear.
Right?
I feel your pain.
Yeah. Did you get Martin? Did you get Tunnel Carpal?
No, I didn't play that often.
Well, at least you can play it because Johnny was missing a thumb or a finger, so maybe he. But
I could kick his ass at Guitar Hero.
And by the way, I was going to ask you guys because we probably blew over it, but I wanted to ask you when she took the stand today. Do you think it was a good idea for her lawyer to kind of like do damage control? Because it seemed to make it worse. It didn't seem to help anything because the jury wasn't buying any of that stuff.
What do you mean damage control?
I just feel like she's completely dishonest, period. I mean, no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
See, here's the thing. She claimed as a victim of domestic violence. You never forget the first time it happened. But yet she forgot a whole fucking year.
Yeah.
A whole year.
Oh, I'm sorry. By the way, it's A sharp major. A sharp major.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. What's a sharper and flat between major, minor? Just drop the third. I mean, no big deal. But yeah, on the third, I looked it up to make sure it was. You have a capo on the third fret, play a G chord, an A sharp major. But anyway,
I can do drum rolls.
Yeah, but you don't think it was damage control?
Also,
You don't think it was damage control? That
yeah,
she was trying
it
to
probably
redirect,
was.
say, on your last testimony list, she talked about the guitar. She talked about other things that she had testified to.
Yeah, she was trying to. Yeah, but it wasn't believable. I mean, it wasn't believable. Whatever. I want to know why. Okay, so it's like methodical how she did this, and I really truly believe like it was planned from the gate. She's abusive. Like, she abused her ex-wife, her sister. Like, she's an abusive person. In my opinion, that's how I see her. So she obviously manipulated the psychiatrist, doctor, whatever. Why is it that she went to the psychiatrist and made so many notes and so much about this, but yet she never went to the doctor and got all of her bruises or any of that checked out? Why didn't she document that? If it was true, I believe she would have.
Well, especially
I don't believe it's true.
Her face is her money maker. I mean, she's a model. She's an actress.
Right.
I'm not gonna tell what people.
There would be scars right now too.
We're not gonna say what Aaron does because we're not gonna dox her. But Aaron requires, a certain look, per se. So if you had a broken nose, you're probably gonna go. You're definitely gonna seek medical attention. Especially, like I said, Amber Heard, a model, and she has a broken nose. You don't think she's gonna have immediate medical attention on that? But that's right.
Yeah, but she changed that today. She changed it and said, "I thought I did," whereas before she said she did.
Yeah, but they played
She
back.
thought she did.
She changed today.
Yeah, today she said she could have.
She thought she could have broken her nose, but in the original testimony in 2016,
you know if your nose is broken. Yeah, you know if your nose is broken. Which, by the way, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure I would seek medical attention if I broke my nose. I think that might actually be an improvement. So I don't know.
Well, I've had my nose broke. I've had sinus surgery, and they've broken my nose. And let me tell you, the bruising from that is intense. It looks like you get beat up.
Right, you get bruising all down here.
No, right? It's not just down there. Your eyes too. I look like a raccoon.
Yeah.
It was all the way. Right. Mm-hmm. There's no way to hide that with makeup. I couldn't go to work. Right, for weeks. And even when I went back to work, I was still bruised up.
I mean, I think you could maybe hide it with makeup, like the discoloration, but I mean, you can't hide swelling or anything with makeup,
Not to the degree.
Well, like I said, the first 2 days, but a lot of the times that they proved today, a lot of the times that she made the claims, she went to like the red carpet that night when Johnny, laid on her back or whatever, it stood on her back, and there was no bruising. She went on James.
Yep.
What's his name? And Corbin. That was like the day before, the day after, or the same day, and there was no swelling. Like there was nothing. Mm-hmm. You can't hide that shit in the first couple days. It's impossible.
So what do you think it is that there are some people that actually do believe Amber? And we're not talking about Eve, obviously, because that's her girlfriend. And
people like Critical K?
Oh, does Critical K? Wait, what?
KJ does too.
I know Katie. I know Katie
does.
That's shocking.
Critical K.
Same type of freaking people.
I went into her Facebook group today, the Critical K or whatever it's called, and she's posted away like crazy in support of Amber Heard.
It's because they're the same type of people.
Ranty,
yeah, exactly.
Claire's co-host. His name was Ranty. He goes by Abadi the Absurd now. Yeah, so he did a poll. 52,000 people on that poll. It was 99% 99% thought that, for example, like the psychologist, not Hughes, but the other one, Curry, was believable, right? All his polls have been like 98%, 99% on everything. You know, she's lying and all this other stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, look, you could ask 1,000 people if the freaking sky is blue, and you're going to get about 85%.
Yeah, I was going to say, statistically speaking, like that's an anomaly to get 99%.
It really is. It really is. That's unusual. I mean, obviously my polls are hardly scientific, but I mean, I generally get an idea from them. But when you have one of my polls, 500 people had voted on it, and it was 98.7% that thought she was lying on the stand.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, I never listened to anything about this before this trial started, right? So I really went in with an open mind. And yeah, I love Johnny Depp. You know, I grew up with him as a teen and whatever. But I'm all about like women and whatever. I've lived. I've had my own abuse, and I've lived above somebody that was abused, and I've known a lot of people that have been abused, right? Like, I'm very empathetic to that. So I was open-minded, like, but immediately, you could tell she was playing a role or trying to play a role.
That's what I thought. Yep.
You can't tell a story like that without crying. If I go and chair a meeting, right, in recovery, I go chair a meeting and I talk about my life, I will cry every time. And I've talked about it thousands and thousands of times because it's traumatic and it's you know what I mean? You relive it.
Oh yeah, there's certain things that I don't talk about because I well up, and I don't like that. No.
Well, and obviously she thinks she's stoic, or she can claim she's being stoic. No,
that's not stoicism. That's diminished empathy.
Yeah.
Lying.
And when she's given testimony to these events or these instances of the past or whatever, she's not just stating, like, in a court of law, like, what you want people to do is just state the facts, state the timeline, just, you know, keep as much emotion as you can out of it. Dude, she's like giving a narration or a monologue of her inner turmoil at the time. You know, it's, who does that?
Nobody. Everybody that I've talked to and I've listened to that knows a little about the law, they've all kind of said the same thing. They haven't heard anybody really do testimony like this. It's off. Kawasa for 10,001 says, could be an interesting discussion. The limits of psychiatry as a medical field, in that it almost solely relies on testimony, like psychosis released after doctor thinks that they are rehab, or like psychos released after a doctor thinks they're rehab. Well, you know, but they're trained to look for these types of things of deception, right? And again, it's not foolproof, but you see them in clusters. You see an overall pattern. Like, you watch these body language guys. I watch them. You guys watch them. And I think they do a really good job, and I think they nail it. They're looking for very specific things, and if you watch Amber's testimony, boom, it's like, oh yeah, you can tell this is not.
You can see it.
This is not legit. This is straight up not legit. Either she's like okay. If I had to give principle of charity, right, and to an extreme, which I would never do on this because she's bullshit, it would be like, okay, these things. Let's assume these things really happen. And she wants to convey to the jury that they really happen, and so she's overselling it, right, for some stupid reason. But maybe it doesn't come across as natural. But I just don't think that's the case at all. I mean, there's nothing about her story that's even coherent. So when somebody says, you know, is it unethical to think, you know, to say she's lying? No, I think that's the ethical position. Of course, she's lying.
Yeah.
My audio.
It's almost like she.
Because
it's almost like she came out. It's almost like she came out of like this abusive situation, whatever, being the abuse. She came out ready and just, you know, advanced enough in her healing or whatever to be the person who counsels others without ever needing the counseling. Like, she just skipped over that. Like, that's, I mean, and you don't do that. You don't just like go from being the victim to like the graduate. You just don't do that.
Yeah, I see. April says,
but that's how she presents herself.
Yeah, well, and then she says, I don't play the victim. Well, somewhere in one of the articles, she did talk about being a victim. But April says, I do not believe her at all because I was verbally abused, and my ex-husband and I don't believe Johnny abused her verbally either. I don't see a verbal abuse either. I see frustration. I see anger. I see that he was probably in a situation that made him feel less of a man and emasculated, and how he went about it. It was just raw emotion, right? And I'm certainly not going to be judged. I'm not judging him for being in that situation.
No, anybody can be in that situation. I can tell you with my ex-husband, I would walk away, right? Like I didn't want to get angry in a fight. I would walk away and he would follow me. It like Amber did to Johnny. And when you're in that situation and you just want to get away because it's going to get bad, eventually you're going to fight back, right? Eventually I socked him in the face because I couldn't take it and I didn't feel safe, right? Respect me, let me walk away. And she acted like he was a horrible person for doing that. And really, it's the most responsible thing that you can do when you're in a heated fucking situation, right? I didn't want to hit him. I wasn't an abuser. I just didn't feel safe. And it got to the point of happening so many times where you're going to snap. And that's what happened to me. And let me tell you, I got divorced not long after that, right?
If you in a situation like that, Tina, would you be telling that guy, "Oh, I didn't punch you. I was only hitting you. You're just being a big baby. Suck it up."
No, I said I fucking socked you in your face and you deserved it. You should have let me walk away, right?
No, what I'm saying is that she didn't seem very
but I
careful with him.
I take responsibility for it. And I took myself out of the marriage. So I did the right thing, which is what Johnny was doing finally. Now it took him a lot longer, and a lot of people that are being abused, like here's the thing. I mean, in the beginning when he was telling the story, that's the honeymoon phase, when she was getting his wine and taking his boots off, and you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's what abusers do. And the moment he married her, she turned and a switch fucking flipped. And that's what happens to people that are abused. Like, they're abusers. They fall in love with them. They gain their trust, all that stuff. And then they show their true fucking colors, right? And by that time, a lot of people are stuck.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. And that's what's unfortunate, because I think Johnny kind of was stuck in some ways, and he probably really did love her. And love sucks. And love put up a lot of shit. There's no question about that. If I had lost a finger, I think I'd be done regardless. But that's I have lines, But yeah, you're willing to do some stupid shit. I mean, in fact, Aaron, not to get into the details, but remember the story I told you about driving a while back? I told you, but anyways, you do stupid things when it comes to.
No, I'll remember. I need a little more to like what? No, what was it?
When we were
driving.
We were going the wrong way. I'm like, we live this way. They're like,
oh, yep. Okay, all right, yep.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm gonna die. This is not. Nope. No girls. Yeah, I mean, so we've all been there. But I mean, he probably didn't have real feeling how to manipulate him. I mean, look.
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But in order to survive, I truly survive a sociopath or a psychopath and a narcissist. They're not necessarily the same thing, but I think there is a relationship there. They have to learn certain things. They have to learn behaviors. They have to emulate behaviors. They have to know how to manipulate people. I mean, look who in our community who, happens to be in multiple lawsuits has almost mastered that. I wouldn't say they quite mastered it because they made huge mistakes. But, I mean, they've almost mastered that behavior, right? And so I see that she's doing the same thing. I mean, she's having to feign, a natural response on the stand, trying to recall things that didn't happen. So all of a sudden, she has to either find some kernel of the truth to draw upon and then embellish and have expository on it, which I think happens quite frequently. I'm not saying nothing like this happened. There's times when you hear her and you go, man, she's almost believable there. It comes across much more natural because there's something there she's probably drawing upon and then embellishing upon it. And I
think she's done her research. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. Johnny would have had people come forward If he was an abuser like she's claiming,
Right.
he would have had people come forward a long time ago, right? Ellen Barkin, I mean, I'm so disappointed in her because she said he threw a bottle in front of her. It wasn't at her or at
Right.
anybody else. He was just frustrated. And now she's going to, she's backing up Amber Heard and saying he was abusive. Well, the thing is what it looks like is she's petty and he didn't want a relationship with her, right? So she's a petty Betty, like, so many crazy people out there. And she's willing to stand up for somebody who clearly is lying. I don't know.
Yeah, throwing things and throwing things at people are not the same thing, though.
Get emotional. Y'all know I get emotional, right? I'll get emotional. If I hear a story of abuse, I'll start crying. I have not got any emotions but anger with her.
No, because there's no emotional feelings to connect with.
None.
There's nothing there. And by the way, I mean,
right.
Probably most people have thrown something in their life in anger. Some people throw, like a remote control. You're like, oh, batteries are dead. Throw them against the wall. Throw their phones and shit like that. People do that. It doesn't mean you throw things at people. There's a difference there. And so just because you throw something across the room and you're not even aiming at Elm, like, yeah, then that's just that to me was. I mean, all his other people around him have all said the same thing. That he's a nice guy, and he seems to be a nice guy, a very genuine guy. And I think that's why he wanted to have this lawsuit. He wants people to know that she is tarnishing his reputation. Why do you think I sued? That was the only reason. It's not about fucking money. It was I wanted people to know that I was being lied about. Why do you think Todd Chrisley was suing? He wanted people to know that he was being lied about. Why do you think probably Robert Shin is suing? Oh, he wanted people to know that somebody was lying about him.
No.
That's usually the
He
case.
wants a Bentley. He wants two Bentleys.
Yeah, he wants.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he wants. I mean, he's burying his soul. Look, people like us, nobody's on the internet. Who gives a shit if our things go public? Nobody's gonna fucking care. He's a well-known, very successful actor. For him to make that commitment to have it all out there, that's balls of steel. There'd be no reason why he would unless he was absolutely assured that he was telling the truth.
What do you guys think about the people, the celebrities that are like cringing that they would actually Johnny would go public with this stuff and blah, blah, blah? Dude, what is that about?
I'm proud of him. I think it's wonderful
he
went public with it. Look, why would it be why would you not? I go public with this stuff. I was lied about. You were lied about. Aaron was lied about. What did we do? We went public with it.
Why would you not? He's going to help other men.
Right.
Like other men that are in this situation are going to be able to say, look, Johnny Depp did it. I can do it now.
Yes.
And they can get out, right? They can get help and not be ashamed.
I totally agree. By the way, I don't know what's up with Skype. Your Skype, whenever Skype has a weird connection, it's just everything goes crap. I don't know.
But mine?
No, I don't know if it's on your internet or my internet. It's hard. It's never.
Oh, okay.
No, my internet's pretty stable though. But yeah, it's one thing about Skype. It resizes the window if you get a lower connection speed. But yeah, as far as what you're saying, Tina, I couldn't agree with you more. I think it has done amazing things for people to just go look. First of all, it's not just women that are in abusive relationships. Second, if you are in a situation like this, you should have the empowerment just to speak out, because it's never fucking easy. Look at the shit all three of us have been through because we dare speak out. I've spoke out about people 6 years ago, and I still have them fuckers still around. I had one of them just in your chat just a little while ago who was literally saying on video, oh, I'm only here from McRae, that I haven't spoken to in 5 motherfucking years.
Yeah, it's insane.
Dude, people are crazy.
I've never seen any shit like it.
I don't know how many years it's been. It's been a long fucking time. I don't give a flying fuck about this person, but all these people, their whole lives are just, they're dedicated to fuckery. That's all they fucking do.
Yeah. You could pass away at 80 years old, and I feel like some of these idiots would still like find out where your grave is and like piss on it or something. Like seriously.
They would. They're insane. And the funny thing is that we get criticized for, like, I got criticized so much for documenting Katie's stuff, right? Well, here's the thing. The fact that I documented it, I was able to share that with attorneys and help them with their stuff, right? Help innocent people that are victims of her with her own words. Like, it's her own words, her actions.
How much did the Reddit help Todd and his lawyers? You know, I mean, they documented so much stuff. Yeah.
But look at the people that are claiming that we're all obsessed, right?
Yeah, which I don't get because I barely talk
Why
about
do they care?
Even if we were, who gives a shit? I don't understand why that matters. But if you look at how many videos we've done in comparison and what has been done to us in comparison, I've never done anything in real life with anybody. Okay, yes, I've launched a lawsuit. Okay, but that's because somebody was lying about me. That's it. I've never called the police. I've never called CPS. I've never called FBI. I've never called the CIA. I've never done any of that. I've never asked anybody to do any of that. Matter of fact, I think people are doing that absolutely to be 100%. Just you need to have overwhelming evidence something's wrong before you take that leap. Right?
I have never either, and I block anybody that goes real life like that. I will block you like no tomorrow. Well, now, there's been people that have called for Katie when she said she was suicidal, right? What do you think your subs are going to do? Now, nobody connected to me. I'm not going to do it because I know she's full of shit. And I know it was manipulation, right?
I wouldn't anyways, but whatever. I mean, the one I had a friend that was suicidal not too long ago, and I talked back to her daughter. And her daughter was the best course of action to take.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like people know that I do loss prevention now, so I watch cameras too. I mean, I'm obviously part of it, and you have to be absolutely sure somebody has done something, right? You can't. False accusations suck, right? So you have to have it on camera. Them actually concealing and things of that nature before anything could really even be done. And so I don't know why people don't have that same standard in real life. Because
so wait a minute, like you can like I hate to use like these stupid 80s sitcoms for an example, but you could actually steal like a whole turkey from a grocery store or something so long as no one sees you put it up your dress.
People do some odd things to get away with stuff. Yeah. Yeah,
I want you to read Mikkel's. I want to read Mikkel's comment. She says, "It makes me mad to think she pretends to represent all of us who have been in a violent or abusive relationships. She does not represent me, and I take that personally because she's full of shit."
Yeah.
She's the abuser. It's been proven. I mean, I can't even imagine anybody if they watched this whole trial, I cannot imagine anybody believing that she was not the abuser.
And how much harder will be that for the next person when they say, you know what, hey, this woman claims she's being abused, but you know what, Amber Heard lied about it, so maybe this person's lying about it. And that will happen.
Yeah.
And that sucks. That sucks.
Of course it sucks, but it will happen.
It really does.
I don't see how it can happen. It's just statistically probable.
And there's women out there, unfortunately, and men that lie about it, right?
Well,
there's narcissistic people that will lie about other people and be the victim or whatever.
And they also lie about things like, sending death threats. Like fraud. Like sexual harassment. Like stalking. Like harassment. Like sending pictures and saying, this person, thinks they're safe. That kind of crap. That they everybody's so bad for like actually just documenting stuff and taking things out of context of what they do. Matter of fact, what's funny that I've noticed? Amber did the exact same thing. Do you notice that she does exactly what Katie does? That latch on to certain words, like she did that. Oh God, the whole thing with the fucking I pledged the money, and that lawyer Camille was like, but you didn't donate the money. Well, I pledged it means the same thing. That's a Katie game.
Right.
That's fucking word bullshit semantics where a normal person would go under oath that the difference between pledging and making their own donation, because she had said on that show, the corporate show or whatever it was, I donated $7 million. I donated.
Right.
Okay. If you say to the IRS, say, look, they say, how much did you give to charity? And you say, well, I pledged $7 million. And make it tax deductible. No, that's not going to fly. There's no fucking way
you're going to go to federal prison if you do that.
Yeah, you're not going to convince me that she did not know the fucking difference between pledge and donate. No way. And the jury's going to look at that and think same freaking thing, that she was just manipulating the trying to manipulate the jury and trying to play a word game. That's what I see.
If that doesn't sink her credibility, I don't know what will. Because you've stolen. You've kept and who cares? She says, now that I've been sued. Dude, you should have donated before you ever got sued.
13
and
months.
what does that have with anything. You said you could stand on your own.
She had
right?
13 months to
were
donate that money.
self-supporting. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yep. And so that was not an excuse. But yeah, I do think without question she knew the difference, but she was playing word games. But I love the way Camille kind of just hammered that home. She's like, that's not my question. My question is, did you donate? Well, I use those words. The same. Well, no, those are not the same things. And even if she did, it comes, which obviously she didn't. But I mean, think about the jury. The jury must be thinking this woman has got to be the dumbest person on the planet, or think we're the dumbest people on the planet. One or the other. Okay, Jim Jules is almost home. But yeah, I thought that was the best part of the questioning, which like, no, my question is, did you donate? Did you fulfill your obligations to donate the $7 million? He's like, well, I pledged the money. That's not what I asked. This is why I loved liars on
I gave him a promissory note. Yeah, I gave him a promissory note, an IOU.
Why do you think it's so spectacular that everybody was loving when Kyle, for example, was deposed, right? And he was lying on the stand, and we knew he was lying on the stand. It wasn't a matter of, oh, is he lying? It was, oh, here's what he's saying. Here's the evidence. They don't match. Why he didn't get charged with perjury? I have no idea. I don't know if you guys know this, but did you know that my lawyer had typed up like 2 or 3 page thing, and I have a copy of it. Maybe we'll show it. But he typed up a huge thing. Well, I guess 3 pages. And he had a detective. He's like, look, here's perjury things. This is what happened. This is what was said. This is the truth. This is pure perjury. Here, you don't even have to do anything. Just launch an investigation so the DA, the DA can prosecute. Couldn't get a detective to do it. And it blew me away. I'm like, what does this person need? This is clear-cut perjury. So that's why I don't think it's going to happen to her, even if she lied. No.
Okay, y'all. It's been fun. I got to get off of here.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for Jim Jules. She's going to pop in when she gets home. Anybody in the live chat got any questions or what they think? If they have anything to add. I mean, we just want to do a quick recap on it because we're sitting. I was sitting here with Kano, and I'm like, wow, this is blowing my mind that this woman is sitting on the stand, lying so brazenly. And I was thinking, and I even, like I said, I tweeted out, even Katie could take lessons from her. She would even be in awe, going, "Hey, that's my idol here. I want to be just like her."
Dude, Katie believes her.
I know.
Without even doing her research, she believes her. And she's the one who said, "I don't believe all women." Blah blah blah. Well, right?
She has to go. But she has to like start picking a lane, right? Before she was like, I don't have to believe all women. Then it was believe all women. Then it was like, oh, I'm the victim. Steve's done this, this, and this. And then when everything came out, where she just had no evidence for it, she's like, well, you just need to believe me. You just need to believe me. Shh. She's like, shh, he did.
But yet,
that's not how it works in a court of law.
But yet, she couldn't believe a little girl.
Oh,
she couldn't just believe
Sophie.
A little girl,
Sophie,
right?
Yes,
she couldn't believe Sophie. Sophie was a brat.
Why? So, okay. Why does she have such a dichotomy on that? Why is it that she expects people to believe her when anybody who's asked her for evidence gets blocked? This is a given. She has never showed a single fucking person any evidence of any of this. This is a fact. I know because it does not exist. So I can definitely say this. But I've talked to people that are like, no, of course not. But she won't believe a little girl who has every credibility, should have every credibility, at the very least, who didn't seem to come across as why would she, what is it about her that she wanted to try to discredit her or not believe her? What advantage is that to her?
I don't know.
I can't get past that because
I don't know.
Because it's atypical of her. Katie only does what's best for Katie. Almost always. Right. I mean, this is what Marsha does. But in that particular case, I did not see any advantage or what was advantageous of her to piss off so many people by claiming that a little girl was lying about such a thing. That was weird to me. You want to know my hypothesis on it? I have to be very careful how I word this.
Okay.
My only hypothesis on this is because she did say, so this is fact again, so because I am in a lawsuit here. But she did say that when she grew older, she wants to be that older woman that wants to, harass
sexually harass young men,
the boys or whatever it was, right? Okay.
Yeah, young boys.
This is one again holistic thing. That's one. she's also seemed to have admitted to watching the same things that Josh Duggar has watched. Correct? From what I understand?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, when I found out what that actually entailed, I was pretty mortified. I was like, holy fuck, man. Why would she why would she go out looking for something like that and then watch it? I don't, it makes no sense to me. But then add into to those two things.
None.
And then adding for the fact that she seems to talk about this subject ad nauseum with some type of glee to it, like some type of excitement, right? I'm thinking that she was trying to discredit Sophie because she's a predator like that. Now, again, my personal opinion, I'm just formulating the things, but based upon what she said and what she views, that's pretty predatorial to me. I mean, people are like, oh, Steve, you're just saying that because you can't stand and you hate Katie. Well, yeah, that's true. I do hate Katie. But, I mean,
but if you look at that, if you really think about that and take our opinions out of it, if you just think about the evidence there and what she's done, her actions, her words, her behavior, and really look at it, then maybe you'll come to a reasonable
You don't think I'm being unreasonable with that
opinion
conclusion?
about it. No, I think you are. I think you're right on the fucking money there.
It just seems
but
that way.
That's just my opinion.
And again, I don't listen to Katie. Contrary to popular belief, I haven't listened to fuck all with her. The only reason I would ever watch anything of her is if it's on Llama Girls, right? I mean, she does things, or she's on like Katie's channel, Kay Baxter's channel. But other than that, I don't watch any of her shit. I don't go to any of her live streams. Haven't for 2 years. Don't watch any of her IGs. Nothing except for again what's put on from other people. And what I have seen in the clips is disturbing. Again, she seems to cater to an audience that's enjoying talking about these types of subjects. When it comes to like CP and what Josh Duggar, I've never watched a single thing about the Duggars. I've never watched any of them, not one. And this is like her livelihood is dealing with Josh Duggar and the sexual shit that he's done with his CP and all this stuff. And she seems to literally get off on it because it's her livelihood. She couldn't live without the Duggars at this point.
Well, they're almost done. Like he's going to prison. There's going to be nothing to talk about with him.
Oh, but she always cycle shit for a year.
I wish she would spend her time talking about really like do some fucking research, do some serious research, and talk about how to help the victims, right? Instead of watching CP that he watched. Why don't you watch some videos to help victims?
But she's a victim
and really
advocate,
victims advocate that way.
Hey, Tina, can you name one person she's helped? Because I don't fucking know.
No, I don't.
I could literally show things of people have said, hey, Steve, thanks for helping with this. Hey, Steve, I went back to college because of you. Hey, Steve, you've helped me understand this, blah, blah. Hey, Steve, thanks for giving me some money when I really need it. I have people like that. I don't think she has a single. I would bet you $100 right now that I could find something faster of somebody that I've helped personally than she could if she had a year to find something.
Because she's a vampire.
Because it's all about her.
Who's
she going to help? Why would she? Why is she going to help somebody? She's not going to help somebody unless it benefits her somehow.
That's what I mean. She's one of those emotional vampires. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know the definition of it, but it's somebody that's very exhausting. That's all about themselves. And I can only imagine how her friendships go. They've got to be absolutely draining.
Yeah, if she even has any at this point. And by the way, Brittany Simon calls them one. She has a scale, and they mean different things. But like a level 1 is like an emotional vampire. Calls it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I meant. It wasn't like claiming that Katie Joy was a real vampire.
Yeah. Well, I know what you meant. But we've all known somebody like that. We know somebody that's very difficult to be friends with, and they just drain you. And unfortunately, I don't have the wherewithal to associate those types of people any longer. In fact, the people that
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, the people that some of the people that I even associate, there might be even one or two that they were okay, but they were so draining, and it was just one thing after another, and I'm like, I can't maintain this.
There's a lot of people that live for drama. They live for drama.
Well, drama sells.
All the time.
My philosophy.
Yeah, well, it's exhausting to me. Let me tell you.
Look, look, do you think that people watch my philosophy shit? No. As Aaron says, philosophy sucks. Thanks for the promo, Aaron. But yeah, those are not videos that generate a lot of revenue. I do them because I enjoy them, right? If I really wanted to, like, probably, make some, higher revenue, I'd be doing shit on Duggars, which I've never watched, or the Kardashians, which I've never watched, or I don't know, half the fucking shit that people do out there, I don't do any commentary on. And even the Gabby story, right? That fucking KJ butchered all to no end. I couldn't,
exploited.
Totally exploited. I wouldn't have the heart to do anything like that. I don't think I mentioned anything about her hardly.
I would have to donate all the money to the family so they could bury their child and get some mental health help.
Yeah, you're goddamn right. I have no issue with that whatsoever. But that's why I don't like some of these commentary things. There's a difference between talking about something and giving, some commentary, like the Amber Heard thing. You know I am invested in this, and you know why I'm invested in it.
Right.
But these other commentary shows, they seem like, one, they're willing to fabricate shit. Once you do that, you're no longer a content creator. You're just a tabloid journalist, planner, or something. If you have to make shit up for content, you're not a YouTuber. But they seem to chase anything that they could make content out of, rather than talk about things that are important to them. Does that make sense? Because I only talk about shit that I actually have some interest in. I'm not going to do commentary on crap that I just don't watch. Well,
there's very few people that I watch. I mean, I watch Aaron and Renell, and I'll watch you every now and then.
I like Renell.
Yeah, Renell's down to earth. Aaron's funny as F. I mean,
Yeah. I love her now.
Aaron tries.
I tried. Yeah, I know. They're poor attempts. I know. I get it. But one of these days,
you do a good job.
Yeah,
Steve might just not understand your sense of humor. I don't know.
No, I really do. I really do. But it's funny, Aaron. You're one of the very few channels where I've actually laughed out loud watching, the entitlement translation. And you can ask Kano. It's I feel like that's funny shit right there. That's spot on. That's a sign of a
thank
good.
you.
That's a good. But that's what entertainment is, right? That's the sign of a good video when you have a real, honest to God reaction. Oh, fun.
Thank you very much. That's such a compliment. Seriously, to hear that from you. Thank you.
That's serious.
It's true.
And also it's a shame that you have to deal with some of the other shit. Even what you were talking about earlier on your channel. Yeah, sure. We touch on it every so often. I may bring it up once a month just to kind of give a review what's going on. But I don't focus on that stuff because I don't want that stuff for my channel for the most part. But it sucks that you kind of have to do it on your channel because you have all these people that are around you that are just shitty fucking people. And it's not your fault. They're just shitty fucking people. But they seem to draw you in with it,
You know what's funny, Aaron? It's really hard. I've always told Steve this. It's really hard being friends with him because of all these fucking trolls.
She does with a lot. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, she does.
Just because we're friends with him, we're deemed like the worst of the worst, right?
Yeah, I mean, I find that to be frustrating at times. Yeah, but I mean, don't get me wrong, Steve. That's not at all your fault.
I find that to be their fault.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's insanity.
Tell me that's not the craziest shit you've ever seen in your life.
It really
I don't get
is, and it's bizarre. But yet they'll come and tell us we're oppressed, right? Here, I want to touch on this one thing before I go.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm trying to get the other person.
The stuff with Nat. Here's the thing. I never once said anything about anybody going after Nat or whatever. I wasn't defending Nat per se. I defended somebody with a known mental illness, right? We should not fuck with people that we know are mentally ill because you could push them over the edge. That was my stance. I still feel there's nothing wrong with that stance.
So I don't think there is. Yeah, exactly.
Look who decided to join us.
Oh, I can't find my headphones.
That's okay. We have a wild Jules that appeared. I don't know why your NDI is.
Okay,
are you on your phone?
I gotta go.
Hi, Tina. Love you.
Bye,
Bye.
Tina.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Are you on your phone, Jim Jules?
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Okay, that's better. That's better. Thank you. Your orientation is right now. How are you?
Busy. I just got home from work.
You had one of those days already. I know. So, but tell me what you think of the Amber Heard case. I want to know because you were listening to it, and did my analysis kind of like work for you?
I mean, her performance today, what I'm basically calling it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm crooked. I'm a mess
That's
today.
okay. I'm making you. Aaron has her camera off, so I put you dead center here.
Oh Lord. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, we hear.
Oh yeah,
you.
I can hear you.
Okay. Good. There were a couple of points I wanted to make. I feel like the jury almost had the jury today. There were so many details that were being glossed over by her attorney. Like how her loss of income, they didn't mention what years she lost all of this income. Like it could have been due to COVID. They're leaving out details, and I feel like they're playing semantics with everything. The whole makeup palette thing, she slipped up and said it was a bruise kit. Who uses the term bruise kit? I say color correcting. Like,
okay, let's talk about that because I have you and Aaron here, and both of you happen to be women that actually wear makeup, so you guys already know more of the topic than me, and I don't know where the echo's coming from.
I do not. This is an all-natural look thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
just some chapstick and a little bit of mascara, you know.
yeah, well, I know. Look, you wake up that way in the morning. You already told me that, so.
Oh my God, I put this makeup on today at like 4 a.m. So
the way I understand it, somebody had said that she would probably have put some kind of color corrector on first, then a foundation and a concealer, and then gone from there, right? Is that how it would work?
I mean, that's how I do it. Like, I contour my face, so I always put like, I mean, I don't like extremely contour my face, but just areas that you want to highlight.
Right. Oh, you're still echoing. Right there, Jim.
Huh?
You're echoing, and I'm not sure why.
It's because I need my headphones.
Oh.
Aaron, you talk about the color correcting. Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I mean, I'm not too familiar with like the color correcting, but like you were asking me about foundation earlier, and like, like when I do my makeup, like I'll put on like the foundation, and then I'll use like the contour. I like to use like contour powder. I don't like that to be liquid. I like that to be powder. And then I'll use like the powder foundation over certain areas just so that they're not too shiny. And then I'll use like the highlighter, a blush, you know, whatever. But that's it though for the face, pretty much. Like I would like I was saying to you earlier, when I was a boxer one year for Halloween, and like I made my face look so beat up, like it was like Rocky Balboa, and I did that with an eyeshadow, a dark blush, and a wine cork that was singed on one end. You know, I mean,
do you think that if you would have, let's say that it wasn't for Halloween, do you think it was possible that if you would have called the police that night and said, hey, you know what, my husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, an next door neighbor came over and punched me, would it have been believable enough, you think?
Well, I mean, I think if I were going to try to pass it off like that, I would want to use more, you know, options for makeup or whatever. But yeah, I think it could be believable, or it could be good enough to fool police officers, because like they're not examining you. They're like a doctor would or whatever. They're just taking pictures.
Yeah, so, there's documenting, right?
Right, but I mean, still, I think that if they've seen some like really shiny highlighter shit or whatever being used as part of the color scheme or whatever, I think that they might call that out. But you know, just it's totally doable.
Yeah, I have no doubt about that. And also, you know, again, out of 5 years, you would think more makeup people. I mean, she did a lot of interviews, a lot of shows. You would think that a lot of makeup artists would be coming forward to go, yeah, every time Amber came in to shoot, you know, for Aquaman 2, she was beat the hell, you know, we had to do all this and that. I mean, nobody in 5 years has that kind of abusive relationship that says that they nearly survived and yet all they have to show for it is this a few pictures of questionable. You know, are you good now, Jim?
Found him.
Is everything where it's supposed to be?
Yes.
Okay, good. I don't want to get demonetized on YouTube. Okay. Continue, Aaron.
I don't know. I mean, I think you were talking, actually.
I think Jules was. Then she had to go get her headphones. So what? I mean,
My earphones.
So what do you find to be the inconsistencies in her testimony as far as the makeup? Now we already know the palette thing is BS, right? She said she calls it her bruise kit. The problem is like again, she's referring to that one brand that her lawyer had. Milani, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course that didn't exist until like 2 years later, and yet now they're trying to backpedal on that. You notice that they actually brought that up before they had Johnny's team come in with Camille to cross-examine. They're like, oh, but it's similar palette. It was not this. We messed up on that. Okay, then what palette was it? What were you using? Give us some details here. It made them look really dumb.
And then she slipped up and said, well, first she said, oh, well, this isn't the exact palette that I used. Like, to me, that means like that didn't come out of my purse. But basically she was referring to the brand.
Okay, wait, that's a good point. Oh, I didn't think about that. Is that how you interpreted it? When you say it's not with this palette, meaning like not this exact palette, but it was the type of palette, the same brand, right? It's just, do women generally buy the same palettes? Because they don't get some good palettes. She gets like some nice makeups. She has a brand that she likes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when somebody says not this palette, are they meaning not the exact one I have in my hand? Or not the brand? Or are they just using like a similar one? Because I took it as similar, but you might be right.
Well, she was playing semantics. She said that is not the exact palette that I was using. And I'm like, okay, well then what brand or what palette? Because I thought they were going to correct themselves and say that she used a color correcting palette by Milani that was out at the time. But she slipped up and she said that she used a bruise kit. A bruise kit, I don't use that terminology. I've never used
I've never heard it. That's a new term for me.
Yeah,
well,
same here.
A bruise kit, I Googled it, and a bruise kit is something that actors and actresses know of to actually create bruises.
Would this be a sufficient palette for?
Which one is that one? Is that a Morphe palette?
That's a Morphe.
Morphe.
Oh, whatever. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Morphe. And then you got this one?
Contour.
Oh, this is the contour.
Morphe contour?
Yeah. This is...
Morphe's good quality.
She got good quality stuff. Yeah, she don't mess around.
Yeah, and she said, I use a bruise kit. I mean a color correcting palette or a color correcting. I never been in acting. I've done some modeling, but I've never heard the term bruise kit used to cover injuries. To me, a bruise kit is used in FX.
To give a bruise.
A bruise, yes, to give the look of a bruise.
That's
it's
when I looked
something
into
used
it.
in
Yeah.
movie FX to create bruises.
Yes. And
she slipped up and said the opposite. She said a bruise kit instead of color correcting. And then she says, I mean color correcting.
Yeah, because like that's what I used to call it. Now, let me ask the audience, because again, this is news to me, right? This is kind of new. But when I looked into it, a bruise kit, like you said, is what is used in the professional makeup thing if you want it to create the illusion of having a bruise. And people have done this in a matter of minutes. It's a lot easier than it seems, from what I understand, to create a bruise. But that's what they use, either regular makeup, or there actually is a bruise kit in the professional makeup artist stuff for creating bruise. So do you think that it was really her just having a faux pas, and instead of it saying something like a concealer kit or whatever, she did have an actual bruise kit and faked it? Because the images are similar, but they're different, right? It's in the same locality for the most part, but it's just each one is a very different image per se, if you know what I'm saying. It looks fake.
Exactly.
I mean, it could have been Botox, it could have been, rash, but it just doesn't look like she's been hit, at least. I can tell you that. That was not a punch. That's not being punched.
if I put myself in the frame of mind of Amber Heard, as soon as I got Botox or fillers and I wanted to make it look like it was damage done by another person on my face, I would have taken it the day after. That's when you bruise the most, when you get Botox and fillers.
Where'd you get your bruise from? Where was it located?
Me?
Yeah.
My lips.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, oh God. Like,
but nothing here, nothing under the eye?
No.
Okay.
I mean, why would, unless you get cheek or nose,
yeah,
it would, but my lip, it straight looked like I got sucker punched, like purple, like literal purple, like someone socked me in the face. Why wouldn't you take pictures then? Like, to me, all of these, like, did you guys see the pictures of when the police, or the incident where they were arguing and there were frames strewn about in a room in a different loft, where she said that Johnny, his mother had just passed away and he came over and he wanted to be with his wife. He needed his wife. And she took pictures of the damage. There was hardly any broken glass. There was like sprinklings of broken glass. She said that in one room, Johnny had ripped the pictures off the walls and threw them on the bed. All of this looks staged. And to me, that is what her testimony is. It's just one big staged show. There was no broken pictures. The glass on the stairs. I mean, if you had a fight that violent, there would be, and she said that he pulled her hair out. There would probably be hair.
That
there
did
would
not look normal.
probably be a
That
shoe.
did not look right. Yeah.
There would be
there'd be like the wall would be cut up. Yeah.
It looks staged to me as well.
It was just sprinklings of broken glass on the stairs. Like,
Jim, did you see that she had said that he had caught his boot and knocked a piece of the wood off the bed frame, right? Okay, so
I didn't see that part.
There was an image and there was a bed frame, and I think it was maple. Could have been open. I think it was maple, but don't quote me on that. But the lawyer, the lumber lawyer, I think his name, who I invited to come by if you wanted to, but
Law and Lumber.
Law and Lumber, yeah. His seems like a pretty legit guy. He had noted very astutely. I know very little about lumber. My dad was a carpentry, really big into wood.
I built that. Oh, you can't see it. It's all blurred in the background. I built that.
Do you use a power saw?
No, I used a miter saw.
He had all that. He had miter saws. He had jigsaws. We had a DeWalt. I actually sold, after my father passed, I sold his DeWalt. What was I going to do with it? I think it weighed a ton. But a DeWalt axial saw, those things were like workhorses.
I have a Ryobi.
Yeah, my dad had that for like 50 years or some crap. It was really old. But I couldn't carry it around longer. But anyways, my dad was into all that kind of stuff. But the lumber lawyer, Law and Lumber. He had noted that this wood was a very, very soft type of wood, and the only way you would get something to where there was a shard that come off of it, and this would be like almost like metallurgy property, but for wood, is to get in the grain, break it off, right? And so you'd have to wedge yourself in the grain, break off that piece so you'd have a splinter. Soft damage is not going to do that. You can hit that thing all you want with a hammer, right? It's going to cause soft damage because it's malleable, but it's not going to splinter unless you get in the grain. And he had did this experiment, which I love the fact he actually did this with the same kind of wood, and showed exactly what you would expect if you got in the grain with a knife and did it yourself to stage it, and boom, of course it was identical. And I think that was damning, so damning, and I hope to God they bring that up on Cross at some point, because I mean, they need, if they brought in a woodworking expert to say, what her story, that was bullshit. That would have never happened.
Forensics.
That way. Yep. I thought that was awesome.
And I think that, you know how they're hiding all the metadata, right? They're not allowed to talk about the metadata
Is
behind
there
the photos.
metadata to hide?
It proves that it didn't happen right then and there.
Well, also this. The thing is with metadata, if you change something along, like anything with the photo, it could change the date when it was taken, right? So you don't know if the metadata has been altered or not, unless maybe there's some things there might be ways of doing it in some pictures. I don't know, but most of the time it rewrites the old data, like the date, time stamp, and all that kind of information.
Yeah.
So if it's been altered in any way, yeah, then it's useless.
Gonna change it.
Yeah,
Yep.
but the metadata isn't allowed into testimony, and that I think only harms Amber's case, does it not?
If she's lying, well,
If she's lying, then yeah, I mean,
if she's lying, she's screwed. If she's being truthful, have at it. Look at the metadata. This happened. You know, the cops were called at 7:02 p.m. This photo was taken at 7:05 p.m.
Well, one photo.
It just adds legitimacy to her story, and they're hiding that legitimacy.
Two photos were taken, and one of them and again, I'm trying to recall this, but I thought she had something along the lines of one photo she said was taken, then they went to another room for better lighting and angle. They took a picture, right? And this was supposed to be the same day, but it was the same exact picture as far as the orientation of the face and all this other stuff, just a contrast change. That's all it was. And this was supposed to be taken, like, you know, some time period after. And again, I don't remember the details, so don't quote me on that. But
yeah.
But again, if you don't have the exact metadata of when that photograph was changed or was created, right? This creation date, right? This creation date has modified date and time. Why would they not want that put in there? It actually would show this is the picture here. We took this picture afterwards. But if she took a picture, then manipulated that photo, right? All that metadata is going to be gone on the manipulated photo. It's going to be completely different.
Yeah, but
and it's going to tell you what edits were made.
Yeah, I was going to say, wouldn't there be a trace of an edit history or something?
Not if you
it'll tell you adjusted brightness, or it'll tell you the f-stop.
Not if you save it in a new file. Look, if I take, like, for example, if I screenshot you right now, Jim Jules, with my little screensaver thing, right? It's going to be a JPG that's going to be created today, right? Later on, if I take another screenshot of that screenshot, it's just going to be a whole new metadata. It's going to be a whole new picture, right?
Yeah.
And so if you manipulate something and you create a new JPEG out of it or a new file out of it, all that other data is gone because you're creating a brand new file. You're not, changing the original per se. You're creating a new file, and you still have the original, but you're creating a new file with the edits on it, like the contrast and things.
Yeah, and in an original photo, if it was an original photo, I know that I have the newest iPhone. Because I broke mine right before our first stream, the NSS first stream. I was so mad I broke my phone that day. So I got the newest iPhone, and it'll actually tell you when you actually take a photo, like hit the photo button on the phone, it'll tell you the f-stop and the aperture that it was taken under. Mm-hmm. So it'll tell you the amount of light that is being let in on that photo. And if you turned up the contrast or turned up the brightness before taking the photo, it'll tell you that information as well. Yeah. I only know this because I have.
Because you take a lot of selfies, we know.
No, I have an associate's in photography. Yeah. That was my first degree that I got. So I used to do lots of portrait photography. Maybe you should talk to flat earthers and
explain to them what a thing like an f-stop is, or what a focal length is, or aperture setting, or things like
the millimeters. Yeah,
things
tell you if you zoomed in. Yeah,
things like light intensity and contrast, because they don't seem to have an understanding of photography very well.
Hold on, I gotta let Taco win.
Perspective, yes. Anyways, I'm kind of like burned out for today. I think though. I don't know what else you ever want to bring up. Jim, you got anything else you want to bring up? Because I've had my fuckery for the day, I guess. Oh, look at the taco.
I'm getting tired. Actually, I actually have a night off. Oh.
Yeah, I don't go to work until tomorrow night, and Kino's off. But I was gonna go chill, take a nice lavender bath, and just.
Oh my god, that sounds awesome.
Lavender, Epsom salts, aren't they? Yeah. I had some nice herbal tea. I even got my tea bag right here. I'm relaxing tonight, man. I'm totally stress free. It's like So.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm late. I have a late client on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and I was rushing home. So, and I'm in the future over here, so it's 8:44 now.
Well, is there anything you want to wrap it up with, as far as What you think as far as your prognostication of where this is going to go tomorrow and what's going to happen?
I think she's letting her semantics are slipping. What is it? The Freudian thing? Freudian slip?
Freudian slip, yeah.
With the whole Bruce Kitt thing, I think her mask is slipping. I think Camille is bae. Like
She's
she
awesome.
won the day.
I was like, oh my god, it's going to open up today and it's going to be glorious. And right out of the gate, I was so satisfied. I was like, thank you. I was like, oh, she's just. You know, it wasn't like she went like a straight to her. It was just like a cut.
No, it was a subtle, like, jab and dig in and then turn the knife at the end. The whole pledge, and
that was brilliant.
That was perfect. She would not answer the question. There is such a difference between pledging and paying your dues, pretty much. I really hope the jury sees this. No, I can't wait till tomorrow.
I think that they are. I can't see how they're not. Look, I mean, we all know juries can be stupid, but I mean, there's a point of insanity where even they're just going, okay, this is not credible testimony. And that's all that Johnny's lawyers have to do at this point, saying, look, member said this. This is what, you know, what isn't evidence. What isn't in evidence is what she's claiming. They're not going to rule on something and say, oh, yeah, she's worth $100 million on her lawsuit when she provided absolutely no evidence of anything that she's alleging. I mean, the minimal amount of evidence she's brought wouldn't get her in small claims court.
Tell me, how many pictures of Johnny Depp sleeping does she have? But yet, not one clear, concise series of photos of her injuries.
I mean, especially
she's trying to frame him.
Especially at a bruise like that, right? Especially if you were like beat as much as she claims to have been. You would have one that day. The next day, you would document it over time.
You would document the process. I know, like, I mean,
yeah, I think you would too, and I think that if you were trying to really have the most profound effect or whatever, you would then grab the picture that has like the most coloration into it and submit that.
It's usually a few days later, by the way.
Yeah.
2 days later or so is about when it's. I mean, you saw what happened to me. You know, that night. You know, the next morning, it wasn't that bad. The following day, I was like, "Holy crap!" And then I started to heal, and it went away. But it's like.
But y'all, look at her on the stand tomorrow. What is up with her cheekbones? Have you seen that, Aaron?
Somebody else said that too. They look really archy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They look like Lady Gaga cheekbones. They are like pointy, like little monster cheekbones.
Or...
It's like the rest of her face looks like it's in different shape around them.
Yes. Like it's like her cheekbones come out like this, like she got implants. And they haven't settled yet or something. And her cheeks look sunken in, but then her jaw looks wide. It's so strange. And I think they're purposefully like depriving her of sleep so she looks worse up there.
She looks tired, like she's been beat down.
She looks like she's gone through the ringer. But
I mean, she's had a lot of lines to remember, you know?
Oh, yeah, you're right. She's had to think a lot.
Yeah, you compared her some of her photos that she submitted to like when she's on stage and and the glamour photos. I mean, she's a decent looking woman. I mean, but when they glamorize her, it's like next level, right? But when she's on the stand there, I think they're wanting her to look like she's been beaten, worn down, and tired. And
I think that's why I say I think they're depriving her of sleep because those bags, like, they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's like, do we want?
Makes her more cranky.
Well, of course we want the jury to feel sympathy for her. And did you hear the slip up? She spoke over an objection, and she let out how much she's actually spent on. Yeah.
Yep. I heard that. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think she was trying because she started to be difficult with her lawyer after that. I think she was trying to gain more sympathy from the jury.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she almost.
Yeah, she
almost made me think a second there.
There was a motion in limine on that already because they I don't know what the motion was, but it's called motion in limine. Something hasn't been ruled on yet. But she did seem to want to have that jury know how much she spent. She wanted that information out there, knowing that she wasn't supposed to put that information.
And I
That
think
was a
it's
fast
supposed to
fucking
go.
sidebar right there. Let me tell you.
I think it's supposed to go against the fact that she couldn't donate the money to ACLU and Children's Hospital. She couldn't fulfill her duty because then she started blaming it on Johnny. Well, then Johnny sued me. That
was bullshit. You got 13 months.
But then she said that she did pay it.
Yeah, she did. So she's like, then Johnny sued me. Oh, but I did pay it. Oh, but no, I meant I only pledged it, which means the same thing as paying it. No, see, and that's the thing that the jury is going to pick up on. I think the incongruencies of the stories, right? I haven't sensed anything incongruency with Johnny. He's been put it all out there. Whether you think that he was, a dickhead or an asshole, or whatever. I don't think Johnny was perfect, but I can see why he would probably be in the state he was, having to deal with what he was dealing with. So I don't even have any grudge him at all, none. But there's no inconsistency in his testimony.
When they were asking her about the money she donated and everything, and they pointed out that the Elon Musk's donation or whatever was not part of her donation or some shit like that. She made it a point though to I forget how she worded it, but she threw in a comment like she brought it in though. So like it's almost like she's thinking, yeah, it's not part of my donation, but I should still get credit in it because I brought it in.
She
it's like
donated it in my honor.
Yes, that's what it was. Yep.
Like to me, in your honor, if you're donating to a cause like the Children's Hospital or ACLU, to me that means like in like almost like you're passing away, like in your honor, because of your cause, because of your story, I'm donating this money, not for you, like.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, why do you think, okay, because there's two things that was brought up. One, she wanted the recognition that she was donating to charity, right? Good PR, right? Two was a tax break. Both of them very, very, credible things. But why do you think she even started saying, okay, I am going to donate this all to charity to begin with? What was the reason behind that?
I think she was trying to make herself look like someone who's doing something for the right noble reason, rather than a selfish one. She wanted to further improve her image, I think, and tarnish his.
Yeah. She'll do anything for clout. Like she wanted that notoriety. She wanted to be the poster child of, women's advocate. And that's so heartbreaking because there's women out there with real stories, and here she is.
Oh, I had women messaging me left and right going, oh, they were livid because they're like, we've been through this shit, and here's this woman who claims her life is living hell for 5 years and how she nearly escaped. And yet, there's barely a mark on her. Now, I'm not saying that, people can't be in abusive relationships that don't involve physical violence. Of course they can't. But she's claiming that she had this really awful, violent thing with Johnny, which there seems to be no evidence of. And the people that have been through these relationships are just, they're pissed. She's gaining no ground with anybody. This is what I'm saying. If 99% of the people on 1,000 people vote or something like that, and they're all against you, you're not winning the hearts or minds of anybody. Even if you are telling the truth, that jury's going to look at that and just there's no possible way they could relate to say she's telling the truth. Yeah. It's a preponderance of the evidence there, but there's no evidence to preponder. It's just nothing.
Exactly. There. Show more.
Big ball of
Show
nothing.
the photos.
Oh man, it's frustrating.
Well, day 2 tomorrow, guys. Well, day 17 tomorrow.
I'm gonna be watching it. Like I said, I go to work late that night, so I have the morning. But I would definitely will be watching it live and tweeting it out because I don't normally get invested in lawsuits like that, or the celebrity stuff. I'm not a fan of any of that stuff. But because I'm relatable, this is relatable to me that I being falsely accused by Katie Joy, Aaron being falsely accused of Katie Joy, Jim Jules. Well, you're just Jim Jules. But you had your own shit to deal with.
I don't want any trauma. Don't send it.
Oh, we'll send some your way. Trust me.
Yeah, you came on the wrong channel.
Yeah, do you know where you're at?
I know.
You met me?
I'm like, listening for my name sometimes. I'm like, I didn't do anything. I promise. Like, I'm so neutral over here. Aaron, what's your favorite Johnny Depp movie?
Oh gosh. Oh my God. I don't know.
What was
I really
your
like
first Johnny Depp movie?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
God,
my first,
you're right.
he wasn't
right.
like a main character though in that one. I think my real first Johnny Depp movie was either Benny and June or Crybaby.
Crybaby, yeah.
I remember Benny.
Well, What's Eating Gilbert Grape? I loved that
Oh
movie.
God, I
What's
hated
Eating
that.
Gilbert
No,
Grape?
see, don't bring up that movie. Don't bring up that movie. That's one of the reasons why I don't like Johnny Depp. I hated that movie with a goddamn passion. I couldn't wait for that movie to end. I hated it.
It was
I
so
hated
sad.
it. I hated it. It's.
I loved it.
I hate you. No.
Mama, wake up.
I watched
Oh my
that.
God, so
I
sad.
watched that with my sister, and it, like I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, why are you watching this? It's killing me. This is. It was. I had to be. Was it high school? I don't know. It just. Oh, I hated that movie. It's so boring. You know. You know. When
Mine was
you remember when they're
Edward
on
Scissorhands.
top of the water tower, right? Remember that?
Huh?
Yeah.
I was hoping they'd both push each other off. Be done.
Jesus Christ. What did you say was your
I hated that
favorite?
movie.
Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, okay. Yep. Oh my God. Forgot about that
I
one.
loved that movie when I was little. Oh my God.
Honey.
He was just so awkward and like morbid and dreamy and purple.
Yep.
I like Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one.
The first one, yeah. I think that's
He has
pretty much the only
he
one
has
I
some
saw.
really good one-liners, like you were telling the truth. Like I do that a lot, and still people are surprised or something, you know.
I like the
You were telling the
morbid,
truth.
dark Johnny
I do
Depp.
that a lot,
Like,
but people are still surprised.
What else did he play? Like, wasn't he in the Headless Horseman or something? Wasn't he in something about that?
yes,
Hollow?
Sleepy Hollow. With,
Yeah, okay, yep.
Peter Ricci.
Yep.
I forgot about that movie. Yes, I
got a
love
hot
that
bath
movie.
run. All right, I gotta go. I got a hot bath run because I'm gonna relax
Oh,
tonight.
okay.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
No live stream.
Bye,
I'm not bringing
Aaron.
my computer into
Bye.
the bathroom. What is wrong with you people? God dang.
All right.
Well, that's my That's my OnlyFans. On my OnlyFans today, you know, in the tub.
Stream from the tub. Live stream from the tub. You've heard of hot tub streamer as well. I'm a tub streamer.
It'll be on Twitch too. But anyways, I was going to tell Aaron thanks. But anyways, thanks for joining us, guys. Again, I'm going to be watching it tomorrow. I hope you guys are watching it as well. I want you guys' input on it. This has been the Devil's Chat, where you guys come along and we just chat about stuff. And I'm really enjoying the Devil's Chat. Yes, it has all these occult origins and stuff and iconography, and deal with it. I happen to enjoy it. Did you read? By the way, did you see you see my thumb?
Mm-hmm.
Amber Heard undercross.
Undercross.
Come on, it's upside down cross.
Upside down
It's upside down cross. You know.
That is
You have
evil.
no sense of humor. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna go take my bath. Jim, Jules, always a pleasure. You know I adore you, and I will talk to you later. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.